Hi guys, you're welcome back. And again, the senator is here to talk Germany with you. And I want to say that living in Germany is like a slow burn. Being a slow burn because of the loneliness, the bureaucracy, the language issues, and all the other complications. But the question now is, why am I still here? Yeah, because somebody could interpret like, these are complaints you're giving, but why are you still here? That is the hard one. And that is what I want us to digest today. I have realized after living in Germany for almost 8 years that the system, the German system, doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you need. That is what personally I have realized here. And I am going to be discussing why I have chosen to stay in Germany, even with the hardship, even with the difficulty. That is something that I would like you to learn from, because my own thoughts and my own reasons could coincide with yours, or maybe they could give you an insight as to why it is worth staying here, even with the way the system is. Everybody talks about bureaucracy in Germany. Everybody talks about the language issue. Everybody talks about the loneliness. Yes, they are real. But then, why are we still here? If you stay with me till the end, the fifth point, because I'm going to be discussing 5 points, why I am still here, you are going to get my own personal resilience tip that has kept me in Germany till this moment. And I hope to stay further. So let's get into it and discuss it. And of course, remember that if you're new to my channel, you can click the subscribe button, subscribe to my channel. You can share the content when you watch. You can also like and comment. That is going to also help me to be able to improve on what I am doing, or maybe consider certain aspects that you want me to discuss, which are important to you, because the senator is here to serve you. The first thing I am going to discuss here as one of the reasons that has kept me in Germany till now is the safety net or peace of mind. Now, let me break it down. It is not about the low crime rate in Germany, but it is about the social and financial predictability. Social and financial predictability. What do I mean? If you are in other countries, you will know that if you lose your job or you are not able to work, you are already in crisis, and this can really make your head to break down. But in Germany, you know that you have this safety net that if you lose your job, what is going to happen is that your health insurance is going to get you covered for a certain length of time, and after that, maybe if you're not getting a job, the Arbeitslosengeld will come in and will be able to support you till you get a new job. And that alone gives you that predictability that say, okay, if I'm not working now due to one reason or the other, this is what I am going to do, this is where I'm going to go to. That alone is very important for your mental health. That is one of the reasons why I have chosen to remain here over going to a place or being at a place where I will constantly be in thought, or maybe if I am in trouble, I'll be worried, what am I going to do next? So that is very important, and that is one of the determining factors that has made me to stay here in Germany, or to remain here after all this time and seeing the difficulties that are around. Sometimes you need to consider stability and not just about making money, because in some of those other places you can be able to make a lot of money, but what happens if you don't have the capacity to work or to make that money just in the short term? What are you going to do? Things are going to get very difficult, and that I consider seriously, and that made me to stay here. That is the first reason. And moving to the second reason, one of the things that makes me to live here and enjoy being here in Germany is the freedom of movement. You know, Germany is like at the center of Europe, and you can literally move anywhere you want at any time. And also, most companies in Germany have like 30 days vacation. And with this 30 days vacation, you could get up in the morning and be able to get to Prague or to get to Paris or get to wherever within a couple of hours. You are in this place and you are enjoying life there, and you can come back. In fact, I have traveled to very long distances to other countries, and I came back to where I live in Germany the same day. Well, you know that you sometimes have to grapple with Dutch band delays, train delays, but of course, just having the train there to be complaining of the delays is already a plus. So I consider staying here and enjoying this or going through this than maybe going to another place where I will not be able to enjoy this freedom of movement. So Germany keeps you at a strategic place where you have this free movement to anywhere you want at any time. And that to me is very important. The next thing which I will talk about is the quality of the boring stuff. From infrastructure to tap water to consumer rights, everything is built in Germany to last. When you live in Germany, you get to appreciate all these things. Because even the fan machine at the supermarket, you know that everything is working properly most of the time. And so you are sure of what you are getting. When you are buying something, you know that it is of good quality. The bread you are getting is of good quality. The quality is good because consumer protection is there to make sure that everything is fine. And so, like I mentioned, everything in Germany is built to last. And you are very sure there are laws that are protecting you in every aspect. And as a result, you can buy something once and maybe fix once. And of course, new laws are coming every day to protect the consumer. And as such, you can be sure of your quality of life in Germany. That is something that you will not want to trade for anything. And that is what is keeping a lot of people in Germany. Again, somebody will ask you, why are you staying in Germany despite the difficulty, despite the hardship? I will say, in Germany, there is true friendship. That is like the hard shell that you should understand. You can describe Germans like coconut, hard to crack, but the inside is sweet. Now, it can take you a long time to be able to build friendship in Germany. But once you are in, once you get connected, once you have a friend in Germany, you can be sure that this friend is very reliable. This will be a friend that can be able to help you even on a Sunday morning to move furniture if you have to move to a new house. So to me, I would prefer to have 5 friends who are reliable and serious than to have 50 people around me whom I cannot depend on for anything. That is something, that is a plus. That is what is keeping some of us. That is what is holding a lot of people in Germany, because you can be able to rely on not only on the structures, but on the people. You can build true and real friendship in Germany. And that is something that you should consider seriously. If you're thinking of maybe leaving Germany for one reason or the other, you may have a lot of fake friends in other places. But here, you can trust your friends. And the last point I told you is my personal tip. My personal tip, and that is personal growth through resilience. I want to tell you that if you successfully navigate the German system and you get everything done, it builds a certain level of resilience in you. It builds a certain level of confidence, adulting confidence in you, that you can be able to stand anywhere and talk. I will tell you, and I can say this with confidence, that a young person who travels and lives in Germany and is able to survive the system will be far more matured than maybe somebody who travels to another country. I will not want to mention a country, not to be biased here. But anybody who goes through this system becomes so matured because the system can make and break you. And I was saying, this is going to be my personal tip, because when I was going through the process of maybe acquiring my documents here, sometimes I have to get up in the night and maybe arrange them, or maybe make sure that I am very early to appointments, like I already mentioned, because being on time is already late. And so you will need to try to be there 5 minutes early and make sure that you arrange all your documents and they are in order. There's no mistake in them. That alone made me to realize that being organized is very important. And that is what the German system teaches you, which you cannot learn from anywhere in the world. I can gladly tell you that. And so when you go through this and you conquer the system and you surpass everything, that version of you belongs here. Because I will tell you, if you move it to another place, you become discouraged with everything that is going on. So Germany builds a certain level of confidence and strength and resilience in you that will function better in Germany and not out of Germany. That is what you should know. And I guess this, for me, is a very important lesson that I learned here, which I am now teaching you. And anybody who is planning to come to Germany can benefit from this and will know that staying here means you have gone through it all and you have achieved a certain level of resilience. The question now that I will be asking is this system for everybody? Is this system for everybody? Yeah. But then you should know that Germany is like long-term investment. It is not a vacation, or it is not something you are just keeping there to go back and pick. When you are talking about long-term investment, it means you put in a lot of energy into the system. And when you put in that energy, you are already at a position where you want to reap out of it. So if you already do that long-term investment, you want to stay there and benefit from it. And if you're struggling right now with navigating through the German system, tell me in the comment section. Then I will ask, what is the one thing that is keeping you in Germany? Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like my videos, share, and then comment so that we can always talk and share ideas on how we can move forward from here. Thank you very much.